So hello, so we start today the first introductory lecture about advanced cell biology. Okay, so in this lecture we will deal with some of the, we will understand the course structure, how you will be evaluated, okay, how the marks will be divided throughout the course, and as well as you all know, this course includes a lab part or laboratory part, okay. That will be the marks of this lab will be incorporated into the course. يعني الكورس بتاعنا ده في طبعا الجزء النظري اللي احنا بناخده وفي عندنا جزء عملي كذلك. So for the lecture topics, so we'll understand what is the lecture topics of the course. هنشوف توزيع التوبكس بتاعت الكورس الحاجات اللي هناخدها. لازم تبقى فاهم ان في جزء من التوبكس دي أنا هقولها ودي تمثل تقريبا half of the course و half of the other course will be your responsibility as presentation, and you will be assessed and evaluated as well with marks. Okay, so the first topic is biomembranes. Then the second topic we will talk about the transmembrane transport and how the materials are transported through the membrane, the cell membrane. After I finish these two topics, which will take around like 2 or 3 lectures, okay, 2 or 3 weeks of lectures. So we'll have the first presentation. A student will do the first presentation about this topic, which is growing and studying cell in culture. And then the second topic of presentation will be how to isolate cell organelles. Then the third topic of presentation, which is locating and identifying human disease genes. After these 3 topics, I will do a lecture about chromatin structure, then a lecture about transcription and translation. Then we'll go again for presentations. These are the to be assessed as well. It will be on this topic will be on the inactivation, the function of specific genes in eukaryotes. Then another topic of presentation, which is genomics. And basically, in this presentation topic, the student will talk about genome-wide analysis of gene structure and function. Then I come back and talk about, in a lecture, so I'll give you DNA replication, repair, and the mutations. This will be followed with a presentation in a cell and cell extracellular matrix adhesion and overview, followed by cell extracellular junctions and adhesion molecules. Then I'll do another topic of the lecture, which is a signal transduction, followed by a presentation on embryonic stem cells and induced pluripotent stem cells, then stem cells and niches in multicellular organisms. Then I'll do a lecture about regulation of eukaryotic gene expression, and we will understand how the genes are switched on and switched off in order to do its function. Majorly, it's a very important process that controls how the cell will differentiate and divide, and what are the breaks and the regulation and the feedback that control the survival of these cells in order to avoid these cells to turn into a cancer cell. Then we'll talk about eukaryotic cell cycle. Then we have a presentation about the mechanism of cell polarity and asymmetrical cell division. This will be followed by cell death and its regulation. So generally, if you look closely into the topics, so 50% of the topics will be done by myself as the lectures, and 50% of the other topics will be done by the students in the form of presentations that will be assessed and have mark on it. Although it will be the student will be given a mark for this presentation, but the student will not be asked in the final exams about the topic of the presentation. So the total number of pages for this presentation is 100 pages. Okay? طيب يا شباب، مبدئيا كده دي توزيع التوبكس بتاعت المحاضرات كلها بتاعت الادفانسد سيل بيولوجي. قبل ما نتنقل بس على السلايد الثانيه اللي هوضح لكم فيها how you will be assessed and how the marks will be divided throughout the course including the lab and the theory and the final exam. لو حد عنده اي سؤال على التوبيك دي يتفضل يا شباب، او حد مش فاهم الطريقه او توزيع البرزنتيشن او كل الكلام ده يتفضل.
دكتور انت كل البرزنتيشن راح تعطيهم مشيت نحن ما راح نحضر شيء.
نعم.
كل البرزنتيشن انت راح تعطيهم نحن ما راح نحضر شيء.
لا يا انور، انت جاي في حد فهم كلامي؟ لان انور واضح ان هو ما فهمش يعني مش واضحه بالنسبه له النقطه دي. في حد تاني فهم انا قصدي ايه؟
يعني قصدك دكتور التوبكس اللي بالبولد هودي حضرتك حتشرح لنا اياهم، والمكتوب برزنتيشن نحن هودي بدنا ناخذهم.
ممتاز. اسمك ايه؟
رولا حريز.
ايوه ممتاز يا رولا. فهمت يا انور؟
اوكي دكتور مش الحال.
ماشي الحال. يبقى اصبح ان 50% of the course will be presented as a lectures by myself, and this actually which you need to study because this will be your assessment during the midterm and during the final exam as well. Okay, while the presentation it will be assessed during the presentation and you will not be asked in the either in the midterm or the final exam. كلامي واضح يا شباب؟
Yes.
اوكي. في حد عنده اي سؤال تاني على توزيع التوبيك؟ We will talk now how we will divide the topic among yourself. Okay?
اوكي.
متهيألي ده سؤال مهم صح كده؟
صح.
Okay. Okay. So to continue, so these are the general topics. Again, it's a 50% will be done by myself as a lecture, and 50% will be done by you as a presentation, and you will be after. So what about the main reference actually that will be used in this course? And actually this main reference, actually I use it for doing my lectures, and you will use it as well for doing your presentation. So basically you use that reference for the presentation. So that reference actually is called molecular biology of the cell. So for the molecular biology of the cell, which is the 8th edition, 2016, basically one of the very famous, actually it's the #1 reference for molecular cell biology or advanced cell biology for Lodish. So Lodish, one of the famous scientists that have done wrote together with his colleagues this very important book about the advanced cell biology. Okay, and basically I already included the link for to download the parts of the book you will need for your presentation on Moodle. So now we'll talk about how you will be assessed throughout the course. So basically, if you look close, so basically you will have a midterm. Actually, you have 60 marks. Let's have a pointer. So we have 60 marks for activities, and you have 40 marks for the final, which comes with total mark was 100 marks. For the 60 marks for the activity, 40 marks of this activity will be for the lab. So for the lab, you will have a midterm for the lab that has 10 marks or 10 points, and then you have a reports and paper submission that will take 10 marks, and then you have a final lab that will take 20 marks. Altogether will be 40 marks of the lab. Together with 10 marks with the midterm and 10 marks for the presentations. Total, these will be the 60 marks of the activities. Then 40 marks final, and this will total mark will be 100. So any question about the way of assessment throughout the course?
No, clear.
Okay. So